I saw another day, all we do is scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Not unmuted. Wow. 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 Hey, guys. It is Old Man G here, back again with another reaction. And Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. That was very unexpected. That was very, very unexpected. I think there's a lot to talk about. I think the first notable thing to mention of absence is that as soon as the final whistle went, Liverpool Twitter went quiet. Liverpool Twitter went quiet. I've been looking for Liverpool fans, Chainsaw, Mike, guys, I don't know where you guys are. Please drop into the stream. If you're a Liverpool fan, so if you can just drop into the stream at some point and just give your opinion, we'd like to hear it. Yes, I'm still on loan to Madrid, I agree, but you can't say that it wasn't a good, and to be honest, a deserved win by Manchester United. But remember, guys, before we get into this reaction, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio Force on Twitch United X, smash the notification button for latest Manchester United, etc., etc. I see Hassan and Factos in the back. I'm going to bring you in. I'm just going to give you my brief sort of reaction first. Shout out to everyone in chat as well. Shout out to Roy, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Show them Reds what's was. Thank you, buddy. Forza Milan to you as well, Chief. Sandra, what a game. Congrats to you, RDS. Paradise, what a win. Get in there. Paradise, I told you we would win. You're right. I'm going to take the L here because I said a draw or a loss potentially. But what I didn't predict was how bad Liverpool's midfield was going to be. And also, I didn't see the starting lineup coming. I didn't. I actually thought Sancho wasn't going to... Rashford wasn't going to play. I generally was surprised Malacia played. And boy, Malacia and me, and we might do some player ratings later, I'm not sure. We'll discuss the players. But for me, Malacia is actually man of the match. Malacia is actually man of the match. And we'll talk about it later. I'm interested to see what the United fans think. But if Malacia plays the way that he's playing like that, I cannot see Luke Shaw coming back into this team this season. But for Sans Europa, I generally can't, because with Malacia, we finally saw, for goodness sake, a guy who could go forward and defend well as well. And bear in mind, Malacia, I want to briefly speak of this. Malacia was going up against Salah. Malacia was going up against Salah, like 23-year-old, just into the Premier League, his first kind of big game, his first proper start in the Premier League, and he was going up against Mohamed Salah, and he pocketed him for the most part. So I don't blame him for the goal. The end defenders didn't react quite well enough, but shout out to the kid. Sola, what a show of passion for the players and show of strength for the manager, dropping certain players. Exactly. Ronaldo and Maguire have been dropped. I mean, Ten Hag's probably looking at this thinking, like, I made the right decision. I'm not going to change it. So against Southampton, I expect the same players. The only thing is the midfield. I suspect that McTominay will be dropped and you play Casemiro. So the midfield will probably be Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno is what I suspect the midfield will be going forward. Possibly maybe Fred might come in at times in place of Eriksen, but or maybe you drop Bruno and put Eriksen where Bruno was and play Fred in. That's also a possibility. I would actually like to see that. I'd like to see midfield of Casemiro, Fred, and Eriksen, and see how that works, but we'll see it. And whether Van der Beek comes or not, I don't know. But shout out to the players, man. Yes, says EFAC, man. People will say it was saying relegation week and we would concede 7. I told you RDS would win. Yep, I will hold my L because I generally thought 7 was coming. I thought Salah would. The thing you need to understand, Paradise, is that I've been told by I was told by certain level of fans that Trent was going to drop a hat trick, Salah was going to drop a hat trick, that these hat tricks were coming, and I got scared because we held 4 to Brentford, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Pull up the chainsaw. See, I'm gonna. if Factos is watching, if you can do that, bro, I need to. While my computer loads up, if you can go back to the match, to the. I don't think it was on the match preview. It was. I think it was on the United Forum. Yeah, it was Mondays. It was last Monday's United Forum. I think there were certain receipts that were being played. So I have to dig that back. I told you Liverpool were not that good. They have been struggling big 3 points above Liverpool now, and they're in the title race. Exactly. No, I think Liverpool. If Liverpool lose to Bournemouth, any chance for a title race is out of the question. It's out of the question. You know. Chelsea are still in the race to sign Frankie De Jong. I'm tired of this Frankie De Jong story, to be honest. I really am. So I just like. I'm not Abdullah. As much as I love it, I thank you for sharing this with me. Like, to be honest, at this point, I don't even care about the Frankie De Jong saga. I really, really don't. Congrats to oh, by the way, if you guys want to come onto the show, the link should be in the chat. So please click on the link. I will try and pin it when I get the chance. Session B, yo, what's up? Congrats, thank you very much, buddy. I know you're a Liverpool fan, you know. If anything, this actually might be a blessing for Liverpool because Liverpool fans have been telling me that they desperately need a midfielder. And this loss might actually push Klopp to demand a midfielder from FSG. Who knows? Could be wrong, but who knows? And I did around Maguire bench until finish. Yeah, he needs to be on the bench. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, before I bring the others in, just a brief summary on the game. We actually dominated possession for the first 30 minutes of the game. And my goodness, man, that finish from Jadon Sancho was ice cold. As you see in the title, it's ice cold. Ice cold Jadon Sancho, ice cold Manchester United finish. It was absolutely... he just sat down James Milner as if, I don't know, birthed him, I don't know. But we're 1-0 ahead. And then you're thinking, right, okay, how can we press the advantage? The last, I think, 10, 15 minutes of the were nervy. Liverpool were getting a bit of momentum. We're trying to, I think, have the advantage to actually finish the half the better of the teams. But it was good. United were good to not allow Liverpool to score, in the first half. So that was good. And then the second half, as I said to quite a few people beforehand, I was like, Liverpool Martial needs to come on because it was clear that Trent was being exposed. It was clear that Trent was having a problem. And as soon as Ten Hag noticed something, took off Elanga and put Trent on the field, man, oh dear. Because then Martial and Rashford on that side, obviously Rashford going up top of the night, Martial going on top and Rashford on the left. And Trent was getting cooked. And it happened. Nice run through, ball through to Rashford. I can't remember. I think it was Eriksen again, remind me. Rashford through him. I know he does this all the time with his pace, and he slots it past Alisson. Brilliant finish. 2-0 to Manchester United. And, intensity was there, of course. Towards the end of the half, we struggled, but again, and one of the positives of having 5 substitutions this season is that you can freshen things up, so you can bring on, we brought on Van der Beek, you can bring on Wan-Bissaka, bring on these players. I think that a lot of players are going to be like those utility players this season, so players are going to get game time, which is good. But at the end of the day, man, it's 3 points. And I can't remember the last time we beat Liverpool, probably 2018 under Jose. But this should kickstart Manchester United season. Before I even it's important to remember that it still glazes out. It still very, very much glazes out. Like the Casemiro signing, the beating against Liverpool, the elation. Like for me, in my personal opinion, it doesn't change the fact that the Glazers should still lead Manchester United Football Club. I think that's very, very important, and I will stress this because Manchester United have been in this position before. PSG with Oli, so many different emotions and reactions. We've been here before. So people need to don't lose a short-term memory and realize, we need to, you know, we need to keep the pressure on. We do. Let's have a look. Solo, we actually finally pressed against a team exactly. Although, I mean, let's be real. Let's be honest. It wasn't particularly difficult to press against the midfield of Milner, Henderson, and Elliott. So United are going to come across better midfields, even mid-table midfields. You know, so yeah, I'm not completely surprised when you consider the personnel they had. Would United have done the same thing if Thiago, Fabinho, and Keita playing? That's the question. So we did get lucky in that respect. Ten Hag out across the club. Ten Hag, as I said, would make the necessary performance. You get dropped. Now we have a momentum, can push on. Exactly. I do think Klopp's hands were tied. Like I said, he didn't have his first choice midfield, and the sending off of Darwin Núñez. I think the game may have been different if Núñez had played. But you know, we'll see. What a Wayne, great performance as well. Thank you, Don Transfers. Dallo and Malacia look locked up this. They did. Dallo really did had a solid game. Although I think Malacia, for his, given the fact this was his first proper Premier League debut against Liverpool of all teams, for me he deserves man of the match, and I'm looking forward to seeing him go forward. Sure, sorry, it's been good, but we need better. The problem is not Ten Hag, it's the players. United actually had some positional play going forward. Exactly. Ramos says, shout out to you, buddy. Lissandro. Rasmus A. Next one to be benched is Bruno. So clumsy, whining, bitching on someone's point. You almost scored. Exactly. That's what I said. For me, the midfield I want for United to go forward is Casemiro, Fred, and Eriksen. That for me should be the midfield going forward. Casemiro, Fred, and Eriksen. And then take away. Depending on whether we get Frankie de Jong, that can change things. But that for me should be the midfield going forward. I think Bruno, you know, in this squad is the only one that doesn't seem to have improved. So yeah, we'll take things from there. Right, let me bring the guys in. I know there's a lot to say. Right, guys.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Chainsaw. Where's Chainsaw, man? Chainsaw.
I'm not sure.
Outside, man.
He's hiding.
I'm not sure where Chainsaw is, man.
Bro.
I'm not sure.
I need him to come and collect this smoke. My man promised me a hat trick from Darwin Núñez.
Yes,
5-0. All of that.
I know.
Only for like Rashford, who's not scored since January yet, to come and score. Fucking hell, man. I'm so happy, bro.
Because to be fair, Factor, shout to you. You're always keeping the faith. Like, what were your just thoughts on the game? Like, what was just...
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. You know, first game against Brighton, bro, I had a bad feeling about that game. I had a bad feeling about the Brighton game as well. I told you guys that I can see United losing that game and then, you know, going into that third game. But I just had a weird feeling about this game, as in, like, I was like, these players, surely they're going to show us some fight for the team or for the new manager. Surely they're going to do it. And Liverpool are going to be complacent as well. And it's just typical United. You remember, like, with Oli, like, every time Oli's job was on the line, like, they would come up to performance like that. But yeah, first thing first, I want to say, man, Glazers out, bro. Like, I know we're happy. I know we're excited and all that. But, like, let's not, you know, forget that, you know, this club needs to be sold, and I hope that the club gets sold at some point this season. But like when it comes to the game, bro, Rashford and Sancho. Rashford has always been clutch. He's always showed up in the big games. Obviously, he took a year off last season, so I was happy to see him score another goal against Liverpool. But to me, I disagree with you. I don't think Malacia was the man of the match. I mean, he was good. But for me, the man of the match was Lisandro Martinez, bro. Like, what did I tell you? What did I tell you about this guy? Like, they call him a butcher for a reason, bro. Like, as soon as he showed a badge Salah in the first minute, I was like, okay. And like, how many blocks did he do, man? He looked composed on the ball. Like, his passing was good. He cleared one off the line. Like, he was just amazing today. But like today wasn't about the performance. The performance wasn't good. Like, let's be real, the performance wasn't that great. It was about the result. It's about the team fighting for each other. And it's ironic that when you drop Maguire and Luke Shaw, like Varane and Martinez, they complemented each other really well. And you know, Malacia, he wasn't exposing. You know, like when Luke Shaw plays a left back, whoever's the left centre back is gonna be exposed 1-on-1. Like we didn't see that a lot. Like Martinez being exposed in a 1v1 situation. Yeah. So I still feel like there's room to improve. The game really changed when Tony Marshall came on the pitch, because then we had somebody who could actually hold the ball up. and he played a big role in that second goal that Rashford scored. But yeah, man, I think Liverpool, bro, man, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be worried. Like, don't be worried because United are ahead of you, but just be worried because your team, for the third game in a row, they're very complacent.
While saying
United did more sprints than Liverpool, bro. Like, double the amount of sprints.
Well, saying this might actually be a blessing for Liverpool fans because this loss may actually push Klopp and FSG to sign a midfielder, which is what they desperately need. Whereas had they got a point from this game, they may have been like, we can probably manage the season with what we sort of have, and then they'll probably get exposed.
Okay, let's say they bring in Jude Bellingham, which they're not gonna do. Like, who's the top midfielder that they're gonna bring? Let's say they bring. I think it's the attitude, bro. Like, you cannot blame the way they conceded that first goal on any midfielder. Trent was shocking. Trent, he was literally jogging, bro.
Do you think, though, if Nunes had played, that the game would have been different? Because I think the game would have been slightly different. We can't obviously do ifs and buts.
Yeah.
Not Darwin Nunes was a definite, because Firmino doesn't have the legs or to be a number 9 and to run up and do the thing anymore. He doesn't. So their number 9 was non-existent, really. Let's keep it stacked.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice Firmino was playing for most of the game. So really, they were relying on Salah and Diaz or something, and in which case, so they're relying on who's out wide. And so that's when Salah and malacia basically pocketed them for most of the game. Not all of it, but for a lot of the game. So I think that had Nunes played, his off-the-ball movement might have caused our defenders some problems. But that's neither here nor there. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I disagree, bro, because, like, the way United set up today, like, Ten Hag didn't play the Ten Hag ball. He wasn't playing up from the back. He was trying to, like, contain Liverpool and, hit him on a counter-attack. So, like, Nunes' game is not based on that. But I go back to this point. The way Liverpool are playing, they don't have the same intensity as before. It's almost as if they feel entitled that, we're just going to win. And we are Liverpool. And we almost got a quad last season. We were so good. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, how United worked harder than them. That's what it is at the end of the day. Like, we were first to the 50-50s, to the 60-40s. That's what it is at the end of the day, bro. Like, I don't think Liverpool, if you're blaming this on not having a midfield or Darwin Nunes, I feel like you're missing the big elephant in the room. What was Van Dijk doing for that fucking goal, man? Any decent defender, they throw the body at that shot. But he's just there, like, just doing fuck all. What was Trent doing on that first goal as well, man? Like, Adias, go watch that goal again and look at Trent. He's literally like, like when you're on your right back here and you see a 1-2 coming, you have to run back to put pressure on the guy that's making a second run. Trent is he's not even doing a light jog. He's just there in his own box. That's what I'm saying. This happened against Crystal Palace as well and against Fulham as well. It's the attitude of the players, bro. Listen, as a United fan, I've seen my players have bad attitude for more than a year. And I can see the same thing. Obviously, not going to be as bad as that, but I can see that same thing. Like, Salah, you got 350K a week now, whatever the fuck it is. Bro, what the fuck was that performance, bro? Take away the goal, man. Where was my man? Where the fuck was he, bro? Where was Salah? Diaz, where was these guys? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. These guys do not have the attitude to play. They feel like, it's United, they're shit. They've been shit for 18 months. We can just roll over them. Yeah. That's they've got to get that straight and they'll be okay. But if they don't do that, it's gonna be another season in which they fall off. I have to be honest.
I mean, I think you're right. I just think it's that we also have to give credit to our players. I think the way that our players play, we did shut down a lot of what Liverpool had, and would that, and also Ten Hag's selection, would that have been the case had Maguire been playing and Luke Shaw been playing, etc., etc.? I'm not entirely sure. So I think credit definitely goes to our team and how we actually played today. Like, we played like we actually gave a damn for once. I can't remember De Gea, to be honest, having much in the way of difficulty or any issues or anything like that. So, but I mean, Hussein, like, what were your thoughts on this game, Hussein?
Yeah, man. First, I gotta say congrats to you lot. That was a very good game, and I hate Liverpool, so I love seeing them lose. Now they're finally below you guys, so now you're above Liverpool, and that's always a good thing. That pleases me, man. But what I gotta say, like, player by player, I mean, oh my goodness, Varane was really impressive. Lisandro Martinez as well. And especially, Martinez really, really needed that performance because the way he was getting criticized by the media and basically by everyone, they're like, oh, he's a short guy. He's getting targeted every time by the opposition. But today, you know what it is? Because when I heard Martinez was going to go to United, I always wanted him to play aside Varane and not Maguire because his aggressiveness suits Varane very well. It's kind of like, I'm not saying he's similar to Ramos, but the way Ramos was aggressive but also disciplined at the same time, that's what you're getting with Lisandro Martinez. And he's so disciplined but aggressive at the same time. He's putting his body right at the right places. So he's not just being clueless or careless. He's just defending well, doing the basics. He was a monster in defense, and Varane too. Like you said, they were just complementing each other and just so strong. On the ground, on the air, it didn't really matter. They were just great in all situations coming at them. And then you have Tyrell Malacia, and I was super surprised. It's like you said, when I saw him, I was like, wait, but this is his first start, like in a big derby like this. That's a bit confusing, but you know what? I kind of trust Ten Hag in these situations, and he's probably telling Malacia, like, you know what? You have to put a big shift out there. Like, there's nothing else you could do. You either go there and win, or you come, as a loser, and you don't want that. And Malacia today, going forward, defensively, offensively, is fantastic. I really, really liked him. His positioning is really good as well. And, even at times, it didn't matter who it was. He was doing good against Salah. He was doing good against Trent. Anyone coming forward, he just had them in his pocket. And that was just really, really impressive overall by the defense. Even Dalot, Dalot wasn't that special, but he was doing the simple things. That's all that matters. And that's the issue with the last few matches. If you're not going to do the simple things right, you're not going to get a result. But today, Man United did exactly that. Even like players like Scott McTominay, and like we know how he's like. He's not the greatest player in the world, and a lot of us question, should this guy even be at United? But today he was doing the simple things. Like we saw that.
Nah, bro. McTominay was trash, man. Come on.
Nah, I don't think he was that.
I know you're on this monologue thing, man. He was trash today.
No. Well,
him and Bruno were trash, man. Let's be real, bro.
No. I thought Bruno was fine in the first half. It's fine. Like their performance was fine. Not crazy, not good. It was just fine. Like what the thing with McTominay, like he was putting on pressure. That at least do that. If you can't do anything else, at least try to press. And that's exactly what McTominay was doing. Same with Bruno.
Yeah.
Like if you can't do anything else, just try to do that, and you'll be good to go. Because we know how Liverpool are like. Like you have to press them, especially in the midfield, which is their weakest point right now, and that's exactly what they did. So kudos to them. I agree, they're not great players, and they were overall in this match not that great. But if you're gonna at least press their midfield, there's no problem because we saw that is their weak point after all. And the attack also was a bit surprising. First off, it's good to see Sancho scoring. He really needed that goal, and I'm sure it's going to boost his confidence now. It was a really good take on this goal. Putting James Milner on the ground. You love to see it. And then Van Dijk is just ball watching. I don't know what this guy is doing, man. Van Dijk. Serious conversations need to be held about this guy. He is not. These guys were comparing him to like John Terry and then Maldini, and even. Man, he's not even better than any of these guys. I don't even think he's the best Dutch defender right now. I'll say it.
Whoa.
I'm going to say that, man. He was poor. He's just ball watching there, man. He's having like binoculars or something, just staring at, Sancho.
Do you know what it is with Van Dijk? Like he was amazing, but I feel like he believes too much in his own hype. He still think players, there was once upon a time when players were intimidated or scared by him. So like, he feels like he doesn't have to get on the ground, do a tackle, do a slide tackle and that sort of thing. But the goals that Liverpool have conceded, obviously gave away a penalty on the first game. And then the Zaha goal, like he literally told Zaha to shoot. Like he was running towards him, like catching up to him. And before he shoots, he fucking slows down. Like, what the hell is that, bro? Do you know what I mean? And then today's goal, I don't want to blame him, but I'm telling you, if Vidic was there, he's throwing his body and his leg towards that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If John Terry is there, the company, these guys are throwing something. I'm probably getting like a deflection. Like if your deflection goes into the back of the net, fair enough. But at least you're throwing your body at the chance that you might deflect it over the bar or it might go back into play. But that's what I'm saying, bro. It's the attitude of these guys. Like, if you have somebody like Van Dijk, you need to pair him up with somebody who is no nonsense. Like him and fucking Joe Gomez. I heard a stat that the last time these two played together, they lost 7-2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Adios, you're muted, bro.
Sorry, mate. Yep.
Yeah.
Efak
And-
in the back. I'm just gonna bring Efak in as well.
Yeah, and also
wait,
one
Chainsaw, is
more
that
thing
it?
I wanted to say. One more thing I wanted to say, man. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Martial, when he came on, I really liked the look of him. He was creating chances, and his link of play was really good today.
Yeah.
There was definitely a change in the game, I would say, when Martial came on. When Martial came on, there was definitely a difference. Efak, buddy. Efak, bro.
Hello?
How are you feeling? How are you feeling, man? How are you feeling on that fantastic win?
Yeah, it's a great win for the team, I think. We still got to remember to get them vultures out, them glazers, because I see a lot of the fans online sort of forgetting about, the whole protest now. But we have to now we've got a buyer, we have to, put pressure on. But as for the game, we actually played really well, to be honest. In the first half, towards the end of the first half, Liverpool started to get more possession and stuff, and they were starting to sort of dominate the game. But when Martial came on, he was superb. I think his dribbling and his pass for that goal, that was a great pass. I think the pace in behind the high line really worked well for United, I think, with Rashford and Elanga and stuff. And it's a great finish by Rashford, to be fair. Because
it was a good finish.
I'm not one of his biggest fans, but from that near post shot, and obviously Sancho, that was a great goal. And I thought the defence was superb. It reminded me of Rio and Vidic, really, Varane and Thingy, because one was like just destroying like going for every ball, and one was really good on the ball and clearing balls. I thought Varane was superb, and I don't want to see that fridge near the team again. And Luke Shaw.
No, I mean, after this performance, Maguire and Shaw can't come back into this team. No, at the very least, McTominay and Fred, you're like, we'll see what happens. But Maguire, like, there's no Varane and Martinez are the starting choice centre backs.
Yeah,
and then you can make an argument when Lindelof comes back, he should be third. But we'll see.
Yeah. No, that fridge needs to be sold to Chelsea, man. We need to cash in ASAP.
Yeah, well, I mean,
be near this team.
They want a defender. They want to go on loan. So yeah, we'll take it. They give us Christian Pulisic.
I thought the thing that Malacia did well was that he's actually trying to get back. Luke Shaw is lazy. He was like, he never stopped running throughout that game.
Bro, do you know what I like most about Malacia? Because he did get skinned a few times, but when he got skinned, the guy got back, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's just a breath of fresh air to watch, man. Like, if we have him, Lisandro, and Casemiro, these are players who are like no-nonsense kind of players, and we will be better. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna finish top 4 or anything like that. To me, the big test is for Lisandro Martinez. It's against not against Man City or Liverpool, the big team, because we know they're not gonna be hoofing the ball up and that sort of thing. It's against the Southamptons. The next game, Southampton. That's when we need to win that game. Do you guys want to say?
Yeah,
we need to win that game. I need the players to apply themselves the same way they did today. If they just match Southampton's energy, we'll win. But like, if we lose that game, bro, then I'm sorry, bro. It's nothing has really changed. These players just showed up for the biggest game of the season, and
that's what I was saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Just going into the chat. So SMB is a good question. Do you guys think CR7 gets back into the squad with Martial fit? I don't think so, personally.
Yeah,
I think he's leaving, man.
Yeah, he's leaving. But I guess we have to talk about, like, the guy literally benched our captain and the greatest player of all time. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a message, you know. He's basically saying, I can't trust you guys when push comes to shove.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, I'm a massive Ronaldo fan, but for the manager and his projects and stuff, I love Ronaldo, but maybe it is best if, we let him go to somewhere else, because like all the attention when he's not playing is going to be on Ronaldo and stuff. Why wasn't he starting? The Sky Sports kept asking that question, which was quite annoying. You should just focus on the guys that did playing, to be fair. Ronaldo, if he does stay, will have an impact, but
Mm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think what people overlook is like, I was thinking to myself, maybe it depends on the opposition, but the way I'm looking at this Premier League season, every team is getting stronger tactically in terms of the players. So honestly, for Ronaldo, he's gonna have to sit on that bench, man. I'm sorry to say, as great of a player he is, but right now what we just saw is a glimpse of what Ten Hag can do with the right players. And be aware, guys. I mean, you guys might still get like a Gakpo or an Anthony coming in as well. So that's only going to put Ronaldo even far behind on the pecking order.
Mawada says Rashford, Martinez, Master were very good, but Tony Marshall, Siemens, man. I mean, that's fair. I think, to be honest, the only reason why I've leaned towards Malacia is predominantly because of the fact that he's a new signing, he's young, and also this was his first Premier League debut. So everyone else has either been in the club for a while or has at least started this season. But for his first full-on Premier League debut, starting the full game against Liverpool or teams and you put in that performance, there's something to be said. In this particular there that can be nurtured, which is good.
I feel like he's a great athlete as well.
Exactly.
Like the pace he has and athleticism.
What are we saying about this Eredivisie tax, bro? Because obviously Malacia and Lisandro Martinez, I know it's just one game, but I don't think it's going to apply to these guys, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like they've got...
At the end of the day, it's not when people say about tax. The thing about when people say tax is that it's only a tax usually if the manager hasn't actually played with these players before. So he knows. So he knew Lisandro Martinez. He worked with him, so you can't really call it a tax because he knows the player. He didn't use Malacia, but clearly Malacia was someone that was scouted for quite a bit. And obviously, Castellon speaks for itself. So I think when people use tax, a tax doesn't apply if the manager actually worked with the players. And if we signed Ziyech, it wouldn't be an Eredivisie tax, for example. So, Zex, oh my God, let's go, exactly, buddy. Nunes would have been a big threat in the new back four, but I believe this will give these four a bit of confidence to keeping and build momentum. That's why I agree, Solo. Carlo Zoinks doesn't say anything. Carlo Montes says, well done, your victory. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate it. So again, Martinez says 100% A will deal these past few games, even the games lost. Exactly. No one wants to mention it. They just want to focus on his height.
Yeah.
Clown.
Oh, yeah. RDS, I wanted to say something, but I forgot what it was. But Ivan Toney actually mentioned a quote where he said that Lisandro Martinez was actually giving him a hard time. And that's what Ivan Toney said. He just said that there was this bad look on Martinez's side, but he also said at the same time it was like 50-50 basically.
Exactly.
So I mean, if he's saying that from that perspective, I don't know why everyone is going all out on him. Like, oh, he's so bad in the air, and he's showing.
I think it's because Premier League fans are used to sort of seeing like a Harry Maguire, for example, type defender come out and literally head the ball away, and just that when it's like, oh, it's good in the air. They shows that dominance, always wins the balls every time. So if he's not doing it, then automatically it's like, oh, this person is garbage.
Let's be honest though.
Yeah.
People are gonna have agendas about him because of his height and stuff, and because he plays for Man United. We're the biggest club in England, man. Everyone's gonna be hating on.
Yeah, I just want to say this about Lisandro. I'm sorry, I'll have to go soon, but I feel like with him in the team, he's gonna be good this season. I feel like he's gonna actually be better next season. He's gonna make a few mistakes. We're gonna see a few headers in which he's gonna be bullied. We saw it against Brentford. It'll happen 2 or 3 more times this season. That's normal. I don't have a problem with that. But I feel like we are actually gonna see Scott McTominay play a little bit more, because I feel like when we don't have McTominay in midfield, like the only area of presence that we have at corners or defending set pieces is literally just Varane. Do you know what I mean? And we need that kind of like physical, area presence when defending corners and that sort of thing. So don't be surprised if you see McTominay play a lot of games, especially if Lisandro Martinez is playing as well. Do you know what I mean? You know that you can defend the corner with Lisandro Martinez and just run.
I feel like
it's big defenders and that.
Yeah. I feel like De Gea's inability to catch crosses puts a lot more pressure on our defense.
That makes it more important to have Max into the team. I'm not for it, but I see why the manager would do that. If we had Pogba here or Matic, then they're over 6 foot, they can defend corners. It's not a problem. But imagine if Fred was playing instead of McTominay today. Only Rafael Varane is an imposing player, in the air when it comes to set pieces, and you can't do that in the Premier League, bro. And you can do it against Liverpool, but any other team, like they just have to put the ball at the back
Yeah.
post of
The
Varane
only,
can't
thing,
get
the
it.
only thing I would say is that Manchester City don't have necessarily a lot of tall players.
Bro, they
So
got
obviously
Stones,
they've got Haaland now.
Haaland, and them. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, okay, yeah, but Stones really
Rodri.
the only one I give is Haaland. Stones has never really been like a permanent regular. Sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, but Ruben Diaz, Rodri, like like these guys can.
But are those the dudes that score? Are those the dudes that tend to score City? I mean, sometimes they do. I'm not saying it's completely like
No,
wrong.
I'm talking about when defending corners and set pieces. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I'm
Yeah.
not talking about like attacking them and that sort of thing, but I'm talking about defending because like if Fred was playing instead of McTominay and he was in Liverpool, let's say we're playing Southampton or whatever, all they have to do is just get that corner to the back post where their centre back is being marked by Malacia or whatever, and then he heads it back into the 6-yard box and somebody bullies Martinez or Bruno or Ericsson and it's in the net. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you have McTominay, he can, stand his ground. He can be physical. He can head the ball and that sort of thing. I feel like that's the reason why.
You can also lose the ball and expose our defense. But no, I see your point. Like I see your point. Like,
I take the good and the bad. I'm not backing him. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if we see this guy play a little bit more often. That's why I feel like they wanted Rabiot as well because he's an imposing figure. But it is what it is. Unless we get another centre midfielder or a big striker.
Well, Frankie de Jong and Casemiro aren't necessarily the biggest sort of players, really. So, but
we're getting de Jong.
We'll
definitely. But anyway, yes, man. I have to catch you on the next stream,
right,
bro.
No problem. Take care, Chief. All the best, man. All the best. See you in a bit. Peace.
I've just got a question. Do you think we'll get de Jong? Because I'm not really sure anymore.
I'm a bit tired of the whole de Jong debate. I really don't care anymore. So people are like, are you going to get de Jong? I was like, I don't care.
If we actually got him, though, our midfield would be cooking. I can't lie.
Yeah, it would. I mean, to be honest, like if Pogba hadn't left and we had a midfield of Casemiro, FDG, and Pogba, I'd have been like, okay, suddenly now you've got a midfield that can win a title. If you have a midfield of Casemiro, FDG, and Pogba, then yeah, we're cooking. But obviously he left, so that's the big thing. That would have been a good because Bruno, for me, Ericsson I think is okay, but I think Ericsson shouldn't be heavily relied on, and Bruno still for me, he's on fraud watch, to be honest. He's petulant. I'm not
sick
really
of Bruno. If I'm being honest.
You know what? I was watching Bruno in the first half. I'm like, okay, he's doing all right, nothing special. But then the second half comes and this guy just gets worse and worse minute by minute. His passes are bad. His touch, you know what? I'm surprised, man. His touch is really poor, man. I don't know if you know this, but his touch is really bad. It didn't look like he was able to control the ball at all.
I don't like his attitude on the field, man.
Oh yeah. I think he dived at one point, and that was not a good look.
When he was holding onto the ball when they got the goal, I'm like, what are you doing, mate? Come on, man. But yeah, I feel like that own goalie on this scored, bloody hell.
Yeah, if they'd scored that on, because I think wasn't that in the first half, wasn't it? I think it was in the first half, and it was like, and had they scored that, I think Liverpool may have carried that momentum. That was a crucial block by the Sergio Martinez because had he scored that own goal, it would have been 1-1, and Liverpool were on the ascendancy, and I think they possibly could have the momentum would have changed. So yeah, the reckless. Yeah, it was bizarre. It was bizarre.
Yeah, and it's not just that. I mean, if you concede a goal, like Man United players' heads might go down, and
exactly.
I don't know. So like Luis Diaz in the first half, obviously he didn't score, but he was looking dangerous, and if their heads went down, he could have definitely taken advantage of that.
Exactly. SMB says this is the problem with Liverpool. It's like Jenga. You take out one piece and you wonder if the whole thing will crumble. Do you guys think Rashford is back? That's another question. Is after that performance, is Rashford certainly it will do very, very good for his confidence this game. I mean, what do people think? Is Rashford back?
He has to do it for more than one game. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him time. That's basically my answer. But I mean, the thing with Rashford I like though is how do you say? he's one of those players. It's really weird. He can be inconsistent, but at big games, he will definitely turn up. That's the thing I've noticed with Rashford. That's always good to see. But it's like we said, he just needs to be a bit more consistent. But overall, his showing was good. I mean, he was keeping things simple. Not too many touches. Also being careful of his line. And the other thing is, I think it was Martial who passed the ball to him when he scored. And I really like that link up between them two. If they can keep that going, that link up, I think Man United will definitely have something to look forward to.
Fair. Zach, you need to hear the excuses from Klopp. What is he saying? What is this Ford saying? Please let me know in the chat. What is Klopp actually saying? Is he making excuses already? Man United remind me of Ollie ball kind of today. I wonder how they will break down no ball. That's true. There were some glimpses of Ollie kind of like quick counter-attacking type of sort of thing. That is true. I'm not going to lie. There was a bit there. Next game on my birthday, hopefully we can get the win. Ronaldo's supposed to love United, but as soon as he can't play CL, he wants to jump ship. As a Milan fan, I think of Ibra coming back to us, our lowest point, and he brought us back to top. Exactly. Well, I mean, is Ronaldo a United fan? I wouldn't say Ronaldo is a United fan. I would say Ronaldo contributes a lot to Manchester United, but to say he's a United fan is a bit of a stretch because he wanted to go. Alex Ferguson didn't want to sell him, but he wanted to go to Real Madrid because that was his dream to play at Real Madrid, and we let him go. So to say he's a United fan, but if that was the case, then he wouldn't have left. Like Gerrard was a Liverpool fan. That's why he stayed at Liverpool, even though Chelsea wanted him.
Yeah.
Ronaldo was probably, if you're going to say anything, a Madrid fan first over a United fan. It's just that United has a special place in heart for what they basically built the Ronaldo brand.
Oh my God, RDS! I'm just trying to see what Klopp said. I don't know if it's true or not, but someone said that Klopp said Liverpool lost because the clock ran out of time. The clock ran out of time. That's according to Jurgen Klopp. That's why.
Oh my God.
I can't. No. That can't be. That can't be. That has got to potentially be one of the worst. He must be like. I have to hear the context of whether he's joking, whether it's just like if it's like a banter thing, like like why did you lose? And he was just giving banter to a reporter. Fair enough. I don't like that has to be a joke. Like that can't be serious. Being like Liverpool lost because the clock ran out of time. Like, yeah, because they're 90 minutes.
If that's true, that's a sackable offence. Yeah,
that has to be. That has to be if it's true, it has to be in the context of like jest, like he was bantering. Because I know Klopp does this. Like it sounds like banter as SMB. It sounds like the reporter was like speaking to him. He was like, "Oh, we lost because the clock ran out." Not like he meant it seriously. Because he meant it seriously, I'd have questions on his sanity, to be honest. Congratulations, says RDS. Thank you, buddy. A lot of players aren't hardcore. Yeah, exactly. Jurgen Klopp, we lost 2-1 because time ran out. The watch ran down without any football. All I can say is I hope this is banter. That's what I put out there. I hope this is banter because if he's generally being,
I just saw the same quote. It's from a United page, like a United information, like transfer news page. United Zone. You might have heard of it. The United Zone.
Wow. The thing is, there'll be people that will get rid of the second part of the quote. The watch ran down without any football. And they'll just use the first part and put it in quotation marks, and I'm sure people are tweeting it as we speak. It's like, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. But there we go. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, as we begin to round up, I mean, like final thoughts in this game. Where do you guys see? I'll start with EFAC first. Like, is this obviously with the Casemiro signing? Is this the momentum that United now need to now hopefully have a successful season, or is this just a blip? Or do United need to get more? Like, what do you think?
Can you come back to me? I'm just doing something now.
Okay, Hussein,
about 5 minutes.
Yeah, what's good, man? What? Can you repeat the question again, just because it cut
So
off?
basically, the final question, obviously in the chat, let me know what you think. But will this win give Manchester United momentum now to have a successful season, or was this just, or do you think this was just a one-off and old problems might resurface?
Personally, I think this is going to be like a turning point. I genuinely think so, and I'll tell you why, man. Because first off, Ten Hag had the courage to bench players like Ronaldo, Maguire, Luke Shaw, and the way Man United just performed today. I think Ten Hag's gonna look at it and say to himself, "Oh, so I benched these three guys that I've been playing, in the other matches of the season, and all of a sudden we beat Liverpool of all teams." And I think he's gonna look at that and tell himself, "Okay, so I benched those guys. I start my Malacia. I start my Ericsson. I start my Lissandro. I start Varane. I put whoever I get else after Casemiro, and I think he's gonna tell himself, okay, this is the way to go. This is the way you have to play." He's going to aim to play younger players that suit his positional play style of system, that suit this high pressing system. And I definitely think this match will be the turnaround, because if you can perform like this against a team like Liverpool, and of course Liverpool weren't at their best, but at the same time, Liverpool can always get a result out of nowhere. I think people overlook that. Even if they're not at their best, they always find a way to get a result. But today, there was nothing. Man United just completely outclassed them. And so, yeah, man, that's why I think Man United's going to look at this game and do everything they can. It doesn't even matter who they face after. I think even if it's like a City or an Arsenal, they'll give a good fight for sure.
A good question. Let's see Manchester against low block and build some, because even Ole got results against City and Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm not like, I'm happy I've got a win. It's good, but the happiness seems to be more out of the fact that we didn't get spanked, because people expected United to get spanked because of how poor we've been playing. But what we need to see is at least see some consistency. The only thing I would say is that United, at least, because to be fair, in the first 30 minutes, United had a lot of good possession, we're creating chances and we're doing things, so I think that if against a low block, if United can at least have the ball and we can actually finish, so then we can obviously then cause them. But like you said, did get results against City and Liverpool, and they ultimately threw him under the bus, So we've got to see what happens. I'm still not convinced about the mentality of this team, because when we score a goal and push forward, get 2-0, then it's like, right, okay, but when we concede, how the team responds, and now these days they duck their heads. So yeah.
And RDS, just a quick comment on that previous comment by SSB. Like, the way some of these players were doing in tight spaces as well was actually really impressive. Like, they were actually doing pretty well in tight spaces. And I mean, Martial was an example of that today. He was doing very good in tight spaces, and that's exactly what United need. Especially because people are going to defend as much as they can against this high pressing team. And same goes for Sancho. Even like his goal was actually quite a bit tighter, but the way he just dealt with James Milner was really good use of trickery. And I'm hoping, obviously low blocks can be difficult, but if they just do what they did today, then I think Man United can always find the result. It's really as simple as that for me.
That's fair. So, Liverpool won a game in the league this season. Let's see how we do against a more informed team. That's fair. That's fair. Though it's still 3 points in the day, but I agree. Defense is good. I think it's just McFred that speak right now. If we want to front three, well, the thing about the front three is just that I would still relax on that, because this is Rashford's first good game, in my opinion, in ages. So I'm going to hold, and Martial, it can always pick up another injury. So I'm not going to be getting gassed in the front of you just yet, because Rashford is still under review, in my opinion, and Martial can get injured anytime. So we've got to see.
For sure. And other thing, man, forget even front three, like Bruno, man. He needs to be really careful of what he's doing.
Yeah, Bruno, McFruno is what people are calling it, because because Bruno is now in the situation, because if anything, the thing about McTominay and Fred is that they can be effective, is the point. Like Fred and McTominay, in terms, they can be effective doing what they do. The problem with I noticed with Bruno is that like I'm not entirely sure what Bruno is doing anymore. Is he because oftentimes he's like completely devoid from the midfield, so he's not involved in link-up play between them. Okay, if he's not doing that, is he supporting the front three? He's not doing that either. So like I don't know what exactly Bruno's role is right now in this team, aside from trying to win fouls and and diving sometimes. I just don't get it. But Ifak, do you just want to round up? What do you think this is going to be a momentum changer for United?
I think it'll give the squad confidence, but we have to win the next couple of games because the start of the season, he has put us quite far behind the top four already. So the Southampton game's a must win. I mean, Southampton is not a good side. I don't care what people say. We should be beating them. We should be, in my opinion. We should be. But I always say it would be so United to pull off a result here, but then get a draw or lose somehow against Southampton. I feel like the manager has to maybe keep the same team. I'd probably put in Martial for Elanga or Rashford. But yeah, I thought it was a great result, but I have no trust in this team to stay consistent, but it does give you a little bit of hope.
And that's the key, consistency. Can Manchester United be consistent? Right, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you guys who in the chat, really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X. Smash that notification button for latest Manchester news. Oh, yeah, just as a briefing, yes, Southampton's dressing room issues right now. They're not. That is good. They're going to have issues right now. Anyway, guys, have a nice day, everyone.
Peace.
And cheers. Peace.